Hello, great adventurers. Welcome to Bible History Zone. Today we're going on an incredible journey back to a time when the whole world changed forever. Have you ever heard of the Great Flood? Or how one man and his family built a massive boat to save all the animals? Well, today we'll tell you the amazing story of Noah's Ark and the Great Flood. So, sit back, open your hearts, and let's travel back in time. A long time ago, after Adam and Eve left the Garden of Eden, people began to spread across the earth. But as time went on, they started to forget about God. They became wicked, hurting one another and disobeying God's commandments. The world was filled with violence, and people no longer cared about what was right. God looked down and saw the wickedness of humanity. His heart was filled with sadness. He had created people to love and worship him, but they had turned away. He knew something had to be done. He decided to cleanse the earth with a great flood, washing away the evil. But there was one man who was different from the rest, a man who still walked faithfully with God. His name was Noah. Noah was a righteous man. He loved God and followed his ways, even when everyone else ignored him. One day, God spoke to Noah and gave him an important mission. Noah, I'm going to send a great flood to cover the whole earth and destroy all wickedness. But you and your family will be saved. Build a great ark, a huge boat, to keep you, your family, and two of every kind of animal safe. Noah listened carefully. Even though he had never seen a flood before, he trusted God completely. He gathered his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and told them about God's command. Then they got to work. Day after day, Noah and his sons worked tirelessly, cutting wood, hammering nails, and shaping the massive ark according to God's instructions. The ark was enormous, longer than a football field and 3 stories high. But as Noah and his family worked, the people around them laughed and mocked. Look at that crazy old man, they said. He's building a boat in the middle of dry land. There's no flood coming. But Noah didn't listen. He trusted God, knowing that everything he said would come true. Then, something incredible happened. Just as God had promised, animals began to arrive, 2 by 2, lions and lambs, elephants and eagles, giraffes and monkeys, all came walking, flying, and crawling toward the ark. Noah and his family guided them inside, making sure every kind had a safe place. Can you imagine how amazing that must have been? Seeing all those creatures peacefully entering the ark, as if they knew it was their only chance to be saved. Finally, the day came. God told Noah and his family to enter the ark. As soon as they did, God himself shut the great door behind them. Then, the rain began to fall, slowly at first, but then harder and harder. Water burst up from the ground, rivers overflowed, and mighty waves covered the land. The people who had mocked Noah now cried out for help, but it was too late. The floodwaters rose higher and higher, covering houses, trees, and even the tallest mountains. The whole earth was underwater, and everything outside the ark was lost. But inside, Noah, his family, and the animals were safe, just as God had promised. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain continued. The ark rocked back and forth on the endless sea. But through it all, Noah and his family prayed and trusted in God. Then, one day, the rain finally stopped. The sun broke through the clouds, shining down on the endless waters. Noah knew the time for waiting had begun. Noah waited patiently for the waters to go down. He sent out a raven, but it didn't return. Then he sent out a dove. The dove flew over the waters, but found no place to land, so it came back. Noah waited another week and sent the dove out again. This time, it returned with something special, an olive leaf in its beak. Noah's heart filled with joy. It was a sign that dry land was appearing. Finally, after many months, the ark came to rest on top of a mountain called Ararat. God told Noah it was time to leave the ark. As the doors opened, the animals rushed out, free once again to fill the earth. Noah and his family stepped out, breathing in the fresh air and standing on solid ground for the first time in over a year. Noah built an altar and thanked God for keeping them safe. And then God made a wonderful promise. He placed a beautiful rainbow in the sky and said, "Never again will I flood the whole earth." This rainbow is a sign of my promise to you and all generations to come. And so, whenever we see a rainbow, we can remember God's faithfulness and His love for us. Wow, what an incredible adventure. Noah's story teaches us that even when the world turns away from God, we should remain faithful. It also reminds us that God always keeps His promises. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Bible History Zone, and share this story with your friends. See you next time for another Bible adventure. Bye-bye.